MiniWarGamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com, here with Steve.
Hey.
Welcome, Wargamers, to episode 2 in starting a Khorne Daemonkin army. Today, we're going to be focusing on the Charnel Cohort, a very essential formation within the Blood Host detachment within your Khorne Daemonkin army. Reason being, skull cannons.
They're really good.
They are really good, yeah, because you want to build your army up to skull cannons.
Buy skull cannons.
Yes, indeed, yes. Now, I will say this, if you haven't watched episode 1, definitely start with that, because this is in succession, so we're building an army. You got to start, in that video, we tell you what to start with. In this video, we're going to tell you where to add on to. So this is what you're going to want to use to add on to your army. Also, for the Blood Tithe Table video, if you're not sure what the Blood Tithe Table is, click on the link below so that you can see what the Blood Tithe Table is, because we don't have to re-explain it in every video.
And everything works off of that. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this.
It's what your army's based around. Yeah, and there's a specific video just for that. So let's dive right in. And also, if you're a Vault member, there's going to be a mini bat rep component to this that'll be following this review video. This video itself is on YouTube, so this is just a review, and it's a good review. This is good. This is discussion. It's gonna be a nice meaty discussion on the Khorne. So again,
We got corn dogs, so.
yeah, we got Khorne dogs. So, what is the formation of the Charnel Cohort? HQ choice. Let's start with that. You have to have an HQ choice, and you have your options of Herald, Demon Prince. You can bring a Skull Throne. What we like to do, or what I like to do, and I think you agree,
Yep.
is to bring a Herald.
Yep. It's cheap. It's
He's
effective.
cheap.
He has some good options.
Yes, definitely. Now, in this particular video right here, for demonstration purposes, we put him on a Juggernaut because we wanted to make a 750-point mini bat rep example afterwards, and so that's why he's on Juggernaut. Normally, wouldn't put him on Juggernaut. He is an independent character, though, so you can just put him in your squad of Bloodletters. In the next video, though, we're going to put him in the squad of Blood Crushers.
Blood Crushers.
And so,
No, I think the big advantage with him is he's cheap enough. He can kill, and if he dies, you don't care. And that's kind of the whole purpose of, like, you don't want to put too many points into an HQ that you kind of want to die.
right.
Well, you don't care that it dies. You don't want him to die, but you don't care that he dies.
Yeah. You want him getting challenges because that's like double Blood Tithe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So the other tax, if you would, is your Flesh Hounds. You got 5 in the middle there. It's your Mint Squad.
Oh, don't call them attacks.
For this formation.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like what you want in this formation are the Skull Cannons.
Yeah, you do.
Everything else in the formation is attacks in order to get those.
Everything else is there to die or hold objectives.
Yeah, and they work beautifully.
I do them both.
Now I will say this as well. When you do have this formation, one of the specific formation rules that you get is counterattack. Now that's a big deal because Demons of Khorne don't have counterattack.
Right.
Or Rage. That's Mark of Khorne. They have Furious Charge. That's what they're given. That's the Demon of Khorne rule. So when you bring the Flesh Hounds and the Blood Crushers and the Bloodletters, you get counterattack. That's awesome. That's really good.
So you don't have to worry about just putting him far enough forward so you can't get charged, but you want to charge next turn. You just run him up and you get charged, you get charged. You have bonus either way now.
That's right.
Want stuff to die. It's actually a very small bonus, but it's a pretty significant bonus for how you'd be playing this army.
And you want close combat.
You want to kill things and you want to die.
That's right.
So you just run forward
Absolutely.
or hold an objective.
Or hold objective, yeah. All of that. It's all good. It's just, it all works so well. It's my favorite
I know,
army in Chaos right now.
it's surprisingly simple, but played right can be very, very effective.
Very effective, right? And you bring in these units, like I never upgrade these guys with anything because I just want them to die.
I can't
Why'd you
count
waste
how many
points?
times I kill all but 1 or 2 Bloodletters. I'm like, yes, I leave them alive, and now I'm gonna ignore them. But
Right.
then they're sitting on an objective, I'm like, oh, I gotta kill those guys to give my opponent. Yeah.
Either way, it works out so well. And I find that I just have more fun with these guys because if I'm losing, I'm not losing.
I'll give you that. It lends to a lot more fun than your average game, I would think. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go over one of the other formation rules that you get. Let's take a look at the Lord of the Blood Host special rule. So when this formation's HQ is in Deep Strike Reserve, you can re-roll if you fail it. Now, this is kind of, for me, it's redundant because I don't really have these guys in Deep Strike ever. But if you do choose to hold them in Deep Strike and you make a roll for him and you fail it, you can re-roll it. Also, I'll say this, other units that are in this formation, when you roll for reserve, you just come in within 6 inches of him.
Without scattering.
Yeah.
So no, everything here has deep strikes. They're all demons. So, I mean, how you tend to play them is all going to be on the field. But it's very viable to have this entire formation in reserve. And hopefully everything comes on turn 2 and Herald out comes out first. And then everything else comes out safely after him. I don't know if you'd always want to do that. But it's an option. And like I would say, options are key.
Yeah, it gives you the option. And if you have, let's say, a Demon Prince instead of him, we were exploring this option of bringing a Demon Prince. He's more survivable, and other guys are summoning close to you, like within 6 of you, and you can go like right in the middle of.
Yeah, you can
something.
just jump an army safely onto a corner of the field that you want a bunch of models, or on an objective you want to get to.
Yeah.
Or in your opponent's back lines to mess with them while your other armies or the rest of your armies charging forward.
Yeah. Now,
So-
options.
Yeah,
It's all about
options,
options, right? But here's the thing, and this is why I don't do that. It's because I want my skull cannons on at the beginning of the game.
That's one. And the other thing is you want models on the field to either die or grab objectives. I don't keep saying that, but you're better off on the field to die or get objectives.
So I just start them all on the board. Everything. Nothing's ever in reserves, unless there's a special scenario, but that's different, right? You're talking about a straight up game. These guys are always on the field. They gotta be. That's the best use of them.
2 units are moving really fast and moving 12. 2 when we want firing from turn 1, and 2 are, well,
Objective holders.
and dying. Like I know I keep
dying.
saying it, but I mean, it's such a good thing for them to do
Yeah, and they're so cheap.
because you can't ignore them all the way.
No.
Because they're going to get to even your Marines and mince them in combat.
Especially not
so you have to mince the unit up so they're small enough not to be a threat to you, but you don't want to kill them outright to get that blood tie to your opponent, and then that small unit left over is still a problem. So like no matter what you do with these guys, I'm always frustrated with units of bloodletters. Always.
So the good thing about these guys is that they're higher weapon skill.
Yep.
So they can, they're hitting,
AP3 weaponry.
they're hitting on 3s, and they slice through the armor, right? So start them at the 12-inch line if you're doing whatever type of deployment, and you run them. You walk them up and then you run them.
No longer unstable. But still,
right.
yeah, but still toughness 3, and the only save you're gonna get is their 5+ invulnerable demon save,
Right.
which is kind of a liability. But then if you're looking for blood type points, it's kind of
It's
bonus.
like, then who cares, right?
Yeah.
Heck, don't give them any armor because you want them to die. But at the same time, it's good to have them armor or invuln save because you do want them to die, but you still want them survivable enough to take out a squad if they have to.
Yeah,
And that's what that 5-up invuln save is, and it's awesome. And I will say this, for deployment, have these guys in open terrain
yep.
because these ones here, they ignore the terrain. So that's pretty sweet. Now, what's one of the other ones here? We got the Blood Host Unleashed. So enemy units have a -2 penalty to their leadership characteristic when taking fear tests.
From any of the models in this formation.
Yeah, now that's a big deal.
Fear rarely comes up, but when it does, it makes a difference. It's good against really good combat Eldar space elf units.
Yep.
It's good against orcs.
Yep.
It's good against
It's good against Mechanicum.
Mechanicum, yeah.
I fought them yesterday, and man, oh man, did he ever fail his fear tests.
Even Necrons at leadership, because we go down to leadership 8, are going to take problems with it.
Yeah.
They're not going to guarantee their fear test every time.
That's a big deal because you have a lot of things in this formation that can cause fear tests.
You know,
Like, everything causes it.
Necrons want their 2-up save. Or, sorry, not 2-up, so they're 2 saves. This squad gets them there. If they fail their fear test, you're ignoring one of their saves, you're hitting them on 3s, they're hitting back on 5s, you're going to win the combat, and you're going to overrun. This squad is scary to a Necron warrior.
Absolutely. So we were tweaking as well some of the options. Like, for example, instead of 2 Bloodletter units, you can bring 8. I wouldn't suggest that. I would spend the points elsewhere and add on with other formations, kind of like the Lord of Slaughter. You can bring in your Bloodthirster, because you want a Bloodthirster in this as well. You want your D weapon.
Getting a D combat weapon without taking a Lord of War choice is pretty nice.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
For every Slaughter call, you can bring one.
And it's way better than the
Unfettered Fury.
no, the other super heavy you have, the Lord of Skulls.
Oh, yeah, he's so overcosted.
Like that's, yeah, like there's your, the monstrous creature is better than your super heavy tank.
I know, it's kind of it's very sad.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually pretty good because you have a reliable monster that has a D weapon that most things are hitting him on 5s in combat. He's not a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, he really isn't. But so this is the Charnel cohort. I love bringing this. This is my goal. Okay. So whatever I start with the Slaughter Cult, you guys have seen that video. You know what it's like. You know what you want to start with, or the ideal. My recommendation for starting the army. This is the next formation that you want to build up to, because with the Skull Cannons, they last for the entire game because they have 36-inch range. They're strength 8, AP 5, but still you're strength 8.
I think the biggest thing about these things I just realized we were preparing for this video is they have ignore cover.
They do.
They are amazing for taking out enemy skimmer tanks. Enemy skimmer tanks. So Eldar tanks, Dark Eldar tanks, Necron vehicles.
Yep.
No jinx saves.
That's right.
So you're hunting down enemy tank.
Yeah.
Or
they're
blobs
amazing.
of light infantry.
Yep. There's that as well. And they have a special rule called Dread Skulls, which means every unit that they hit has a Dread Skulls marker. And my units that charge that unit that was hit are not affected by terrain. They aren't given a negative penalty.
Effectively counting as frag grenades or assault grenades.
Yeah, exactly. And that's huge because nothing in my army or nothing in the Khorne Daemonkin army has.
Cheap
frag
point
grenades.
wise, lost utility. The R and auto include. You're absolutely right.
And here's the other thing too, and we found this out in the other bat rep. Okay, so when you're fighting a skull cannon, you're fighting a chariot, right? But there's no rider.
But can't target the crew.
Because there's no.
Yeah.
But
They just-
at the same time, they get their extra attacks, right? The Bloodletter crew, they get their extra attacks, but they don't actually have an attack profile for you to fight them instead of the chariot. So
So I mean, you don't really want it in combat, but if it gets in combat, you're not totally out of the game at that point. Like you can still fight back.
yeah,
No, they're definitely auto include. So this formation here, you think it's the secondary in your mind, and the what was the last one? The Slaughter Cult is the primary. Like you gotta buy that
You
first.
have to have the Slaughter Cult in order to benefit from your Bloodhost attachment. So yes, this is the secondary.
This is you want your Slaughter Cult first, and this is
your
probably
auxiliary.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely your first auxiliary formation that you want to include in your army.
How cheap can you make this auxiliary?
This auxiliary right here is between 500 and 600.
600?
Actually, it's almost 700.
Almost 7?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's almost 700. Yeah, just slightly less with the Herald.
more units, you got speed, you got your awesome cannons, a cheap character that does good by getting or giving up blood type points for yourself.
Yep.
No, it's all good.
So you figure you're like, let's say you're 650 for both, for your Slaughter Cult and your Charnel. So you're looking at
13.
yeah.
And you still got a couple hundred points left over to tweak out what you think you're missing, what the gaps you got left.
Yeah, because you can bring a Bloodthirster. after
Another?
that. Yeah, another one. Now, that was the other one. We were doing about 650. That was with the Lord, the Chaos Lord with the
Yeah.
Corlat Axe of Room. You could actually give him, or make that HQ choice, a Herald instead, and then you have room for your Lord of Slaughter, which is your Bloodthirster with Sensitive Rage.
So you think your Corlax Axe of Ruin belongs in your primary detachment?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I would say that's the Warlord,
Okay.
because it doesn't count as him dying until the Bloodthirster dies.
That's true. That's true. That is a little bit extra. You can hang on to your blood type or your Warlord kill.
Yeah. So it's good. This is definitely your second. This is my recommendation for the second one. Please do leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. And any Khorne Daemonkin players out there, let us know what you feel, what you prefer as your secondary auxiliary choice. This is my personal recommendation. Is this one right here?
I can see why.
Yeah. Now, if you're a Vault member, click on the link below to see the demonstration of this formation in a battle. And if you're not a Vault member, we invite you to sign up for a 7-day free trial so that you can see that video, as well as the other bat rep that we made, the Slaughter Cult bat rep, and all of the other battle reports that are in the Vault, because Vault members help to support us. They enable us to do what we do, and they enable MiniWarGaming to exist. So if you think of it like a
I could just be
channel,
here because of them. So
yeah, like Steve works here because of you guys, you Vault members, and if you think of it as like a channel on TV that you buy, you know how usually you gotta buy like packages of channel. Picture like
I know.
one channel that you purchase. It's good. And if you get a yearly bronze, it's like $3 a month. So.
Oh yeah, it's like
So-
really good value. Really
Yeah.
good value.
So thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy wargaming.